I represent a lot of people that have second families, like secret families. This happens a lot to celebrities and athletes. They have like some side woman that they're involved with, and they end up having a baby with that person. Very often they'll either say, okay, I want to continue to have a relationship with this person, or they'll want to buy out of the relationship. They'll say like, what can I give her? Can I give her like a couple $1,000,000? I didn't exist. I'm not involved in this. And the child's free to be adopted by somebody else. She can tell people that she had a sperm donor. She can tell people that it was a one-night stand with somebody. She just won't tell them that it was me. I did one a couple of months ago for about $5 million for a woman who had a baby with an athlete secretly. He's married. He's got a couple kids. And, it's definitely not a bad payday.
I'm going to preface this with, I am not trying to make a series out of this because I don't like coming back and forth to people's videos for very little information. So there's going to be a lot of information in this. You'll have to literally watch it a few times to get it all. And this is for women with uteruses. Remember when I told you I worked for Neiman Marcus briefly? The reason it was briefly was because I received a better offer through mentorship with women. I was mentored by women, not influencers, not side pieces, but women who were in marriages, also women who were in these type of dynamics. Their kids were grown, already in college, and I was college age, so I was a person who they saw that was adjacent to who they were. Now, these payments are really like private settlements, but they're set up as trust. It is managed, documented, and bound by NDAs. Every move you make is structured, housing, staff, travel, schools paid for. And I do mean private school through grad school, and many times beyond that if they're medical. In entertainment in like the late 90s to the early 2000s, there were a lot of movies that came out about having sperm donors and moms doing that. Because it's actually a normal thing to have this. You just don't mention it, and you run the show. I've met lots of married, single moms. Rule number 1, no toxic family, no toxic friends. They're users. They will not be keeping your secrets. They will sell you up the river for a good 5 figures. Why? Because they have poverty mindset. Can't bring dysfunction into a contract where silence is currency. So even down to the person who does your hair, even down to the person who might be doing your nails or your esthetician, all of that matters. Remember Princess Diaries? When the hairstylist was the one who said something? You can't have those slips. It's not really just about class. It's about control, image, and discretion. These women weren't naive. They understood leverage. When you understand power plays, the wives in actual family dynamics of wealth run it. The widows especially. I love a great widow because a lot of times they have great stories to tell when they come for money. And I mean marry into it. You don't have to just be born into it. A lot of times they don't know, but when you marry into it, it's different. You have a different type of view. Number 2, they didn't sit in church pews. They donated to charities and things. They didn't go to these functions. Why? They knew religion was for sheep and governance, not guidance. They told me that directly. Now, did I follow all this discretion? No, because honestly, I was brainwashed. This is also very global. In America, Paris, Dubai, everywhere. Asia, New Zealand, Australia, Russia, even Africa. They weren't involved with athletes whatsoever, or celebrities. We're talking diplomats, politicians, major pastors, and they weren't always married men. A lot of times they were men who took an oath of celibacy, but they liked the company of women in royal families. And when I say that, I don't mean just the UK. I'm talking about there are global royal families like the Chibo. Like there are so many families that have actual wealth that you're just thinking the UK for some weird reason, and it's weird. The women in these positions aren't kept, they are positioned. You keep your image clean, you trade stocks, you consult, you have a degree in something. You also could be a designer. You make more than an IG influencer or these IG models, and you don't even have to do the stuff they're doing because they do very low vibrational stuff that these women aren't doing. It's more acquainted with affluence than the other part. There are 2 parts to this. A major cultural example would be Coco Chanel. You want her bag, you want her everything. Women who are married, women, you don't even call her a mistress. That man funded her lifestyle. She never had issues with his wife. And that's really it, because the wives know 85% of the time that these men are doing this, and they're at the table saying she needs this amount because $5 million is not a lot. Those women had like 25 mil and up. And you get a yearly stipend because you're not actually working. Chanel's name is an empire, but she was a mistress. So when people preach family value, remember this system has always existed. It's embedded in the very fabric of our society globally. You just never wanted to see it.